Well, he was supposed to, but he ended up getting caught lying by old Commissioner Selig there, and suspended for a whole damn year. Now he's clean, sitting on one home run. So there's that. Okay, so yeah, I told you guys yesterday because I was kind of disappointed with our playoff performance yesterday as far as our breakdown. So I didn't go to bed till like 3:00, dude, and I got up like at 7. I was very excited about doing this show, man. To be honest with you, I wanted to go here every week on a bang. I felt good. I felt good last night. Felt good today.
You texted me all night.
Yeah, I felt good, man. Felt good. So I stayed up last night doing a bunch of research. I want to get you guys ready when you go get your hair cut tomorrow in the barbershop. You can be the smartest one in there because you listen to the Sports King today. Or, I don't know. Maybe not. But whatever. We're going to try this thing. You know what? I meant to grab some Anthony Davis sound from yesterday, but I forgot I was getting Adam Silver stuff and stuff from the 30 for 30, and I totally forgot. But first off, let's start off with the 1-8 in the Western Conference, Golden State, New Orleans. Probably one of the big things about this series is that the basketball novice will get introduced to Anthony Davis for at least 4 or 5 games. You get to see what the best player in the NBA in the next 2 years looks like today. He's got just heard today he's got like a dislocated finger, or he dislocated his finger the last game of the season against the Spurs. They popped it back in place, so he probably has some tape on it when they finally do play. But that's probably one of the things that excites me most about the series. Obviously, they're not going to win it unless somebody, from the rafters snipers the mixtape, Steph Curry. I don't see that happening. So this is not going to be a victory for the New Orleans Pelicans. But just to get you ready for what you're going to see out of Ant Davis, this cat is in the top 5 in points, rebounds, blocks, and his player efficiency rating is over 30. Now, don't worry about what player efficiency rating is. Just know that we're talking about the likes of Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, and I think Oscar Robertson, over 30 efficiency rating, and Anthony Davis. So don't worry about what it is, because I really don't know what it is. But just understand that with the names that I just gave you, and you understand how special this young man is, and he's 21 years old. He's a child still, basically. So he'll figure it out here in a minute. His range will improve. His body will continue to develop. And then he'll be a monster. You will not be able to guard this dude. Oh, and by the way, did you hear me say he's in the top 5 in blocks too? Yeah, he's going to keep playing defense for you. So there's that. So if you haven't been paying, if you're one of those people who starts paying attention to NBA basketball during the playoffs, you're in for a treat. I know you know who Anthony Davis is. He's the first pick overall 2 years ago. So you know who he is. But to get to put your eyes on him and on this stage against the best team in the Western Conference, the team that's number 1 in offensive efficiency and number 2 in defensive efficiency. So that's happening. You know what I mean? What else do I got here? These guys are 39, and 2 at home. It's going to be crazy to see Anthony Davis or Draymond Green checking Anthony Davis. I think that's going to be a matchup that if you want to see some good one-on-one basketball, that's going to be it. There's not going to be anybody that's going to be able to, come on, the mixtape. But okay, I think I probably need to explain this again to people if you're just now listening. I've stopped calling the guy who wears 30 on the Golden State Warriors by his government name. I've decided to dub him the Human Mixtape because, well, I don't have to explain. If you have seen this dude play not one game, just one out of the whole 82, you know why I've given him that moniker. So that's that. Drew Holiday just getting healthy. They got Tyreke Evans as far as the Pelicans go. So they got a nice young squad, but it's just not going to be up to the task. The squad that they're putting on the floor, that's not going to be enough to take on Draymond, Harrison Barnes, and the Splash Brothers. It's too much. Too much.
But just like I mentioned to you last week, like nothing else, what this team needs, kind of like the Atlanta Hawks from last year, you just need to be able to get in the playoffs and get some experience, especially for a guy like Anthony Davis, who is the leader of this team. And at some point, I forgot who it was. It might have been Stephen A. Smith or somebody 2 days ago that said in 3 years, Anthony Davis will be the best player in the world.
I'm giving him two.
You giving him two?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm giving him two, man.
But it's very important for him to get this playoff experience early on. And what better experience to get than versus a team like the Golden State Warriors? I mean, because whether they win or lose, and I think they will lose, I don't even know if New Orleans will win a game. But the one thing I know is that
it's
very
they can get one at the what's the stadium called? The Smoothie King Stadium, Smoothie King Arena.
Smoothie. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be able to get one at the Smoothie. They might, but I'm just saying.
You're right, though. It's gonna be that's a tough task.
It is. Yeah, I mean, and so it's just one of those things where for Anthony Davis, he needs to be able to embrace this moment right here. And really, see what it's all about. So then come, next year and the year after that, then, he'll be playoff ready, if you will.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm glad this kid is going to get a chance to be showcased. And I hope he just continues to do the stuff that he does. You know what I mean? Just do that. Just keep your stuff consistent. Let everyone else raise their level, because it's not you don't really have a lot more space before you start hitting your head on the
right.
ball. You know what I mean? Yeah. You've balled all year. Real quick, because we're not going to see you guys until Monday, and by the time we see you guys on Monday, actually the second game won't start until we're done recording. But for conversation's sake, they're going to play on Saturday. This game, their first game is at 3:30 on ABC. The second game will be on Monday on TNT at 10:30 and at 10:30 p.m. So that's the first two games. By that time, we'll be back with you guys. As you know, NBA playoffs kind of string it out a little bit. A lot of time in between the games, so we'll have time to update you on the TV schedule to make sure you guys don't miss anything. The next game, Clippers in San Antonio. This is going to be a very, 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 very interesting series. I do not have, I didn't write down for this. I didn't write down who has the edge as far as the regular season goes in this series, and I did for the rest of them, but I didn't for these first two for whatever reason. I probably was just.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, I went old school this time, Rob. I got like a pad. Yeah, this is real paper. No.
Well, that's what I do.
No Evernote for this one.
I'm the tree killer.
Yeah, I'm the tree killer. Boy. I was downstairs and I didn't feel like moving, and I didn't feel like typing it on the phone, so I was like, "Yep, grab this pad." I didn't even use pencil. I used a pen, like for real, and just like scribbled a bunch of crap on the dang on the pad and said, "I'm going to tell the people about this." Here's the thing, man, that I didn't realize about this LA team, because you sit around there and look at Blake Griffin trying to get back into the fold after the bursitis thing, and Jamal Crawford going out with the calf injury. You don't realize since the All-Star break, there was a 21-7. That's second. That's the second best record in the league. 21-7 since the All-Star break. Did not realize that. But here's the big one. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Chris Paul only being 3-8 versus the San Antonio Spurs in the postseason. It's probably safe to say they kind of got his number. You know what I mean? I love what the point guard matchup is going to be. I love watching Tony Parker play playoff basketball, man. I do. I love when he starts getting healthy around playoff time, and you see the real Tony Parker. You see the nice mid-range jump shot. You see the teardrops. You see him passing the ball well.
So pretty.
Huh?
No, I'm saying that teardrop is so pretty.
Yeah, man. I love to see him. I love to see him run that team, man. Now they've started incorporating Kawhi Leonard more and more into the offensive flow. He's already been a beast defensively with those huge hands he's got. So they started putting him on the block more, making people respect his game. Actually, Popovich had him watching tape of did I write that down? Yeah, Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, on how to work people down on the block, man. So he's added another element to his game. He missed a bunch of games, with the hand injury. But now all that means is he's rested because he's played enough games now to be back into the fold and doing this thing to the point where they're running the offense through the kid after winning, being the second youngest kid to win the Finals MVP last year. Jamal Crawford is back for the LA Clippers. Just read something today that my man DeAndre said he got some for Popovich this time. He wanted to start playing that Hacker Jordan. Yeah, DeAndre, you know where I'm from? Missouri. Yeah, you have to show me, buddy.
Show me.
As much as I love your game, you're going to have to show me that you got something for Greg Popovich. And in all fairness, you're going to have to show him, too. It ain't like he going to, like, damn, DeAndre said he got something from me. I'm not going to foul him now. You crazy as hell. First time they get within, like, 2, he's like, yep, let's start doing it. We'll trade 2 for 1 for the rest of the half. Let's go. Where am I? I heard, who was it? Was it 3D last night or Smitty? It was Smitty comparing Kawhi Leonard to Scottie Pippen, man, to a younger Scottie Pippen, a guy who had long guy with the ability to pressure the ball on defense, but later on in his career developed his offensive game. He says he sees that same progression out of Kawhi Leonard. I just talked about him, doing more work on the block now and developing his own identity offensively. And when he said it, I thought for a minute, and I was like, yeah, because then you explain it. You don't just throw something out there and just leave it hanging. You know what I mean? You don't do the whole, this Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James thing is like Dominique and Jordan. And then I know you guys gonna laugh, but it is. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not, but whatever. Like, this makes a lot more sense to me. Not. Right. The Pippen thing makes a whole lot more sense to me, especially after you put some thought into it. You don't just blurt some idiocy out. You put some thought into it, and you're able to articulate your actual thought. As far as how Kawhi Leonard starts off as a defender, and then little by little, as he gets older and matures in the league, his offensive game picks up. It's the same thing happened to Scottie Pippen. Same exact thing.
Yeah.
They're building.
Yeah. Oh, now really quick. The Clippers and Spurs, they tied the series at 2-2 during the regular season.
Okay. Now I don't really know how to quantify that when it comes to the playoffs, because everything changes in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I heard Brad Stevens talk about this, and we'll talk about this when we get to the Eastern Conference. But he talked about how people look at this 2-2 thing they did with the Cavs. He said, but in one of those games, or in 2 of those games, LeBron didn't play, and in one of those games, Kyrie didn't play. So it's a little bit different now. And I was like, my man, put it in perspective. Like, stop letting people look at these like regular season records and be like, oh wow, look at that, 2-2 in the regular season. Yeah, Brad Stevens put all that foolishness to rest, and I'm glad he did. Good for him. What do we got here? We got about 18 minutes. We're probably going to get through the Western Conference and then have to pick up.
Where is Kawhi Leonard as far as on ball defense?
He's awesome. Like, where statistically?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
That's the other thing Smitty talked about yesterday. I'm glad you reminded me that. Smitty was talking about how, because he's getting so much more confident, and as the season went on, like I say, he missed a bunch of games with the hand, but as he got in more shape, he started basically turning from a guy defensively who was like, yeah, I'm going to make you make the mistake, to now I'm going to make you make the mistake. I got these big old hands. If you try to cross me over, I'm robbing you blind. And he showed examples of it on the big screen. It's like, I had a good time last night watching, people who can talk basketball, man, and teach me stuff. It wasn't, here I'm about to do. It wasn't a Dominique situation. It was people who actually, Fratello, your boy, the czar, the telestrator, the captain of the Atlanta Air Force, Mike Fratello was on that piece, breaking it down, film-wise, in the coach's corner, giving me the goods. I was good. Just on the couch.
Bad hairpiece.
Yeah, good till 3 o'clock in the morning, just watching and getting information for the people today. So, you're welcome. I think this is the match.
I was reading... Well, no, I was reading the Sporting News article today, looking at the matchups as far as the playoffs, and based on what they have with the matchup between the Clippers and the Spurs, it's saying that Kawhi Leonard will be responsible for defending Chris Paul. So that's why I was. I can see it, but not all game, because of how they've kind of changed his role, like we talked about a little while ago, making him a more of an offensive focus. Because you know how that goes. It's the same reason like Michael Jordan never checked Reggie Miller until the fourth quarter, because you don't want Mike chasing that dude around all game off them screens. He ain't gonna be able to get nothing on offense. You know what I mean? But in the fourth quarter, when it matters, hell yeah, you put Kawhi on Chris Paul. You damn right. Because one, you shorten the passing lanes. You're a bigger man in front of him where those passes aren't as easy, and he can't get around you because you're quick enough to move your feet. You damn right, especially in the fourth quarter. I expect to see Kawhi Leonard on Chris Paul without a doubt. Because what the other thing Chris Paul will be able to do, especially early, is probably turn his back on Tony Parker, because he's a much stronger kid than Tony Parker. He's a bigger body, and turn his back on him and compromise your defense if you had to start helping Tony Parker with a double team in the post. You understand what I'm saying?